I remember her making a statement that, why was it so hard for you to figure out this place? All you had to do was take a bike and you would have found your way. And I had to say politely, ma, I drive. I could see immediately the shock on her face that she wasn't expecting me, a makeup artist, to have a car. At night, I got a stinker message from the bride saying that her sister's makeup was so oily, it didn't last. Like, she really insulted me. And then she took a picture of my brand, put it on a big BM saying that nobody should work with me, that I'm a crappy makeup artist, and this and that. It was a lot. There's this looking down on certain types of service providers because you think that they are not doing well or they are not doing as well as you. It's such a strange feeling when you're in that position. I used to be a makeup artist and I used to own a beauty brand. Some of you might remember EA Beauty or Ida's Atelier Beauty. It was one OG glitter brand back then in Nigeria. A few people might remember me from my makeup days and some people might remember me from my beauty brand days. But today, in this first episode of the BBS podcast, I want to share how I got to this point where I now help beauty, health, and wellness service providers grow their businesses. Back in university, I went to Governance University for context. I used to be what you call a hustler. I mean, I don't know if I like that term now, but that's what I would call it. I used to hustle, right? I remember selling sample perfumes. One of my friends gave me about, I think, 100 or 200 of them. And they wrote not for sale on it, but I sold everything, all 200-ish of them within 4 days. He was shocked. Apart from the sample perfumes, I also sold hair bows in school. When I graduated from uni, I immediately knew that I was going to be working towards my master's in the UK. But in that period, I remember my mom coming to me and saying that education is great and nice, but she believes that it's important for everyone to have a craft, some work of your hand, what Yoruba will call ishelwo, right? She insisted that I go to some school. For me, I chose the makeup school. Go to the makeup school and learn how to do makeup such that, if you ever find yourself stranded, that was her belief, stranded or in a situation whereby you cannot work or do anything, your hands would provide food for you. And that was my mom's belief. I remember going to a makeup school. It was called Harry's Beauty School or so. I learned from her. In fact, I think I stayed there for just 1 week and I had to go to the UK because I had to go for my master's. Now, while in the UK, exactly what my mom predicted happened. And I had to find a way to make money because I wasn't getting a job, which makeup came in very handy. I started to do wedding guest makeup. I started to do bridesmaids, bridal party. And I landed some bridal gigs at some point. And that was the beginning of my makeup journey. I'm going to get back to my makeup journey shortly, but I just wanted to share the transition into having the beauty brand. While I was in the makeup, I had to go back to Nigeria from the UK after my master's. So I came back to Nigeria. I was still doing makeup, but I realized that it was so difficult to get certain things for makeup because it was so expensive. All the beauty products and brands, most of them at the time, were being imported from outside, which means that currency exchange, it was very expensive. 2016 is what I'm talking about. Why can't I find manufacturers who create products that will be more affordable because it will be coming straight from China? So I did my research. I found a manufacturer. It was the same manufacturer that was making brushes for Morphe and Delium tools at this time. OG makeup artists would know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I found the manufacturer that did for those brands and I asked them to work with me. Luckily for me, they gave me a relatively low MOQ and I started my brand. Without going too much into the detail, that brand failed. I took a 1-year break. I was, of course, devastated. I did other things, real estate, sold Italian dolls, so many things I did. Like I said, hustle mode, right? But then I came back to beauty because I felt like I had something and I was still doing makeup. So then I got some money and I decided to go into glitters, right? At this time, glitters were not even so... At that time, BH Cosmetics was one of the only brands, and Elf were the only brands that were selling glitters at the time. So I launched my glitter brand and it went viral. It was a hit. It instantly made me a lot of money. I started to sell to other parts of Africa, Ghana, Ivory Coast, if I recall correctly. I even started to ship outside the country, and a lot of prominent artists, prominent beauty professionals, prominent influencers were using my brand. And it was amazing because I didn't even put my face to the brand. A lot of times I was operating more faceless. But the brand did so well by itself because the product spoke for itself and the marketing strategy was immaculate. Now, after expanding the brand across Africa, I moved to North America as well. I moved to the US and I brought the brand over. So it became a global brand. I was delivering to all parts of the world. Australia, I remember when my first product went to France. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. Was it stressful? Yes. Was it beautiful? Absolutely. And it was most importantly rewarding. Eventually, this my little local brand that I started in my home in Nigeria became a global brand. I built a global audience and eventually I sold it. It was acquired by another beauty brand, a very wonderful beauty brand that still has that business still today. Before I continue, let me just go back a little bit in time and focus on my makeup. While I was doing all the products, I was still kind of a makeup artist. I was doing makeup. In fact, I became very prominent in makeup artistry as well. I remember winning an international award. I qualified me for an all-expense paid trip to London at the time. It was Bontricia International Makeup. I don't know if you guys remember that lady in blessed memory. I won that award. I also got featured in prominent magazines or blog brands like, Bella Ninja. A lot of brands carried my brides. I did very well in the professional makeup artistry space, and it was very rewarding. In fact, I did that for a while before I eventually stopped completely to focus on the beauty brand. But there's one particular experience as a makeup artist that stayed with me for so long, and that experience is what I'm going to be sharing today. I got booked by this particular bride. Now, somebody referred my business to this bride, and she didn't book me as her own makeup artist, but she booked me for her mom and her sister. Now, when I got to the house, the first thing I noticed was how condescending the mom was. In fact, I was dragging my makeup box. Makeup artists relate to you have so much load to carry. And I came in, and the mom, she looked at me from head to toe like I was trash. And I took that in, of course, I'll still be pleasant. Hi, I was very pleasant to them. I was this and that. And then I remember her making a statement that, why was it so hard for you to figure out this place? All you had to do was take a bike and you would have, found your way. And I had to say politely, Ma, I drive. And I could see immediately the shock on her face that she wasn't expecting me, a makeup artist, to have a car. It stayed with me. And as I was working, I did her makeup. Of course, she would complain, do this, do that. Oh, I don't like this. What are you doing? Why are you wasting time? No wahala. I kept my cool. I kept working. I finished. She liked it, and we kept it moving. Then I was doing the sister's makeup. As she sat down in my chair, I saw that she was also busy. It's the wedding day. I understand that so many things are busy, but do your makeup, right? Do your makeup and be going. No. She sat on my chair. I would apply foundation. She would stand up. She would go and check what they are doing in the kitchen. As I apply powder, highlights, contour, she will stand up and check what's happening. At some point, she was helping them to fry things. And I'm trying to do my job. You guys would understand that if somebody is getting up like that while you're in the process of makeup, there's a very high tendency that the process itself will be altered. Before I finished in that house, the mom realized that her mom worked in the same place as my mom. So she started to become cordial with me. But me, I wasn't interested because in my head, regardless of who you are or who you think I am, you have no reason to treat me any type of way. You should treat everybody with kindness of some sort. So I wasn't even interested in all that cordiality. I greeted her well after acknowledging that, she knew my mom, but I maintained my peace. I finished the sister's makeup. At this time, the bride, the mom, and almost everybody has left the house apart from few people working. So I was done with the sister's makeup, and her car broke down. And in the goodness of my heart, in quotes, also I thought, I said no worries that, I would take her to the hall, drop her off there. It wasn't too far from where the house was, maybe say 30 minutes drive. So I dropped her at the hall and I went back home. At night, I got a stinker message from the bride saying that her sister's makeup was so oily, it didn't last, like she really insulted me. And then she took my picture of my brand, posted it on her BBM. It was BlackBerry back then. Posted it on her big BM saying that nobody should work with me, that I'm a crappy makeup artist and this and that. It was a lot. And I thought to myself that, did your sister tell you how many times she stood up from my chair to go and fry oil, acting like she's Olopo, a Ketra, while I was doing her makeup? Did she tell you that? Also, did you even say thank you for helping or saving the day, because her sister could not leave that house? At this time, there was no Uber. Taxis were the yellow and black type cab taxis. For those that live in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. And before you find those taxis, you have to go out to the road proper before you find them. They didn't have anybody to send on errand. There was no Uber. So I was her saving grace to take her to the hall. This bride did not deem me fit to say thank you for helping my sister. She insulted me. There's this disrepute. There's this looking down on certain types of service providers because you think that they are not doing well or they are not doing as well as you. It's such a strange feeling when you're in that position. And that day taught me something, that it's not enough for you to be good at your craft. It's not enough for you to be amazing at what you do. You also have to deal with the clients, and you have to deal with disrespect sometimes. In fact, a lot of people look down on beauty and wellness entrepreneurs. They feel like, you're broke, or you should be broke to be doing that type of business. They usually don't expect professionalism or excellence until you prove to them that you are professional. Beauty and wellness service providers carry a ton of products, equipment, a lot of tools that they use to service their clients. They manage bookings, cancellations, client expectations, and even marketing to make sure their businesses thrive well. And in all of this, beauty and wellness service providers are expected to put up a smiling face through, because your client has to be comfortable, your client has to trust you, your client has to feel good, like, you don't have feelings as well. Anyway, here's one truth that this particular experience taught me. If you don't show up confidently and you don't believe in your craft and you don't act like this is a business, I promise you, your clients, the people around you, even your family would not respect your business for you. So for me, that particular experience taught me to show up and show up correct, show up with confidence, enter a space ready to work and act like I am a professional, which I am, and deliver my work excellently, because I've learned that people would have a perception of you as soon as they see you before they even start to watch you work. I hope that makes sense. In the next episode, I'll share how to command respect as a beauty and wellness service provider and the exact lessons that changed how people started to treat me and my business. Because guess what? You are not just booked, busy, or stressed. You are blessed with a gift, a skill, and the power to transform lives through your craft. Booked, busy, stressed, when you can be blessed.